Call upon the Khotla
I call upon the Induna.
and the witch doctor
I call upon the train driver.
and the businessman.
I call upon the taxi driver.
We need to return.
We must return.
We do not need any civil war.
They hire us to kill us.
Civil war by whom? For who?
We must.
Boya, boya, wembogoto. Boya, boya, Dlovukazi. Sizwe, siyadinga. Sizwe, siyalila.
Let me quickly say, those of us with timid hearts and large fears and insatiable greed, and women who no longer could nurture life, who betrayed us, they fell, they shriveled, they rotted, they left a stench in our lives, and they went their way, away into the distance, which makes the future, the present, and the past dangerous to live in.
We eyed each other, even as the pounding of the heart felt like thunder.
We climbed the steep path up.
Even when the horizon was shut,
We faced it, approached it.
went to it even as it receded like a mirage.
We will come upon it one of these days.
In the full moon of our night, which huddles the melancholy of our hopes, nurturing ritual which we must overcome. In this night and in this light, we must make strength to reveal inside us the insight of our heart and the gut of the township, where men huddle in shadows of alleys to urinate and women squat with steady eyes behind shacks to relieve themselves. Listening to voices of drunken men, we came to know then that when nature calls, no horizon will remain shut.
Boya, 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 boy. Boya, 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 boy. Lulu, 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 lulu.
So in the day and in the night, against the steep and the slope of the road, we arrived here. When the white people did not expect us, we arrive now. We ask. Even when the blacks who betrayed us expect us, they did not expect us. The horizon is wide and round and blind, and that is our path, which is everywhere. We arrive. It is only fate and it is only hunger which loads us with blows and sends us helter-skelter. Ah, now that you know why some of us are not here, and you know that their tails hang in the air at fingertip, waiting to be told that it sails in the air. It is threaded in a killing cloud and glitters in the raindrop. And on the soil, their souls lie silent and patient, full of hope. But the dream of the people is not a bubble
And will not burst.
So,
Here we are then, stuck, holding on to the memory and the story, holding on to the child's faith and cry. And like time, life goes on. It ticks, finds some space, everywhere and anywhere. Our life holds on to a dream.
a desire.
A desire that, in the weight of despair, the imperishable particle of hope remains for life to be lived in its brevity, that as the raging fire ate the bare hand of generations, may the strength of that pain be the hope of its children, to be in harmony with the protea flower, the purple jacaranda, and the lush yellow and green of the sunflower, which strikes the light in the sky, and climbs and jumps, stands and dances, holds and sings in the wind, chants and throws its arms into the horizon, like ringing laughter, holds the setting Magaliesberg sun. The slide cuddles the ripe yellow mango and the green avocado pear, and the rows upon rows of green and yellow orange trees, guava trees and banana trees, and the ripe provocative poppos in the lush land of Senin, and the whistling and flowing brittle juice of the vine in the sprawling green of Stellenbosch, and the sticky heat of Natal.
Where the wind and the sea and the mirage caress and sweat, sing and embrace life like lovers. In the smell, where the wind and the sea and the mirage caress and sweat, sing and embrace life like lovers. And the smell of the sea and fish, in harsh and mysterious ways, remind one that here Africa ends, in gliding and flowing waves towards Cape Point, that there Africa takes breath, sighs. At the end of the earth, where the mountains and the sky stare, the sea and the fish smell, the heat and the drizzling rain, the rolling hillocks and mountains, and the silent scream of beauty frolic, saying, beauty is beauty when its beauty is fathomless, and laughs and giggles, and is untouchable but holds you and asks, what is life that it has to be lived?
Is beauty not the article in life?
Like time, it ticks and ticks. Like life, it lives and heaves, embracing the short horizon. And the open day lives in the whistle of the open sea waves, and in the colors of the bloomed Namaqualand flowers, which watch the heart boulder, embedded and scattered, lying and spread in the land. The flower colors best melt and flow, dapple and scream, crawl and climb and blind the blue sky with a soft voice. The colors here whisper and whistle, dance and are still in the air. They watch the wind blow and kiss the lights of the day. Here, desire cries and cracks like a whip, even for the children to know.
Boya, 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 boy. Boya, 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 boy. No, 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 no,
A desire that it is here where life plants its sustenance in our hearts. It is here where the tumult of life begins. It howls and calls, cracks and pounds, saying, we must return. We must return to the crying eye, the broken face and the devastated gait, the sagging shoulder, which tells us that here the feather of life has been broken. We must return to the boy and the girl, the man and the woman, whose beauty is the suspicion that life can be lived, and they hold onto it so in the dust of their lives. How can anyone call for civil war? Our land needs peace. Its soil is heavy and sad with blood. We do not want civil war. We need the simple things of life, to drink and eat, and to know we must return. We must return to the simple questions which hang large in the eyes and the faces, in the gait, in the sagging shoulders and dangling body, in the broken, brittle egg of life. of a man, of a boy, of a woman, of a child,
we must return.
whose guitar, whose song rings at the edge of the horizon, is wafted through the blaze of the sunlight, pops and breaks with grief and hysterical laughter.
We must return. We must return.
In the blue sky we see hovering above
We
us.
must return.
In the clear air we breathe. In the goodwill of our heart as we walk the dangerous street, we must return. Let us return
to the man,
the girl,
the boy,
the woman whose beauty is the suspicion that life can be lived, as with their whispering footsteps in the alley of the dark and near the rubbish bin where
We
flies hover
must
and buzz.
return.
They return once more and over again.
They
They ask the fly, they ask the blind passing footsteps, they ask the heat and the cold, they ask the day and the night, they ask. With intimate secrets and hope not to fear, they
We
ask.
must return.
With fear not to hope that life which must be lived can be
must
lived.
return.
They and us, we do not need a civil war. We must return. To fetch the squatter man and the squatter child, the squatter woman and the squatter life, where traitors are bought and made, where killers carrying spears and sticks and axes and guns, and with blood in the eye, they
Return.
watch the rich and watch the whites, watch the poor.
We must return.
They watch themselves, watch and wait. We do not want a civil war.
I call the preacher
We do
men,
not want a civil war.
the medicine men and women, the bones, the induna and the bus. I call the train driver and the taxi driver, who have seen life speak their wills to death.
I call the chief. I call the traditional man and woman. I call witchcraft and the Buddha. I go to the kota. I go to the market women and the carver of art. To the singer. Let us return to life, though it is made so cheap in our dwellings, because we hire us to kill us. We must, I say, return if prayer or
We
signs
hire
or
us
spirit
to kill
will
us.
return us here. It does not matter how.
We
We must live here.
Where we were born, there's nothing we can do, nor anywhere else we can go.
We live here. We
We
live life here.
We dream,
Desire and hope here. It is here where those we made live. Here where the graves of those we killed are. Here where the eyes startled by our speech stare. Let us return and search.
It is here
where our own graves must be.
and our children whom we give life and must give dreams. We live here. We do not want any civil war. We must return to life and live it here, where we must overcome racism and tribalism and know being black and white, men and women, Jew and Zulu, English, Motswana, Indian, Xhosa. Under the sun we must return to the laborer and the youth, the farmhand and the domestic servant, to the intellectual. It is to them that civil war will happen. We must ask. We must return and ask. Civil war against whom? By whom? We must return to the song of the sugarcane cutter, the gumboot dance of the mine worker, the song of the street digger and the migrant laborer. We must return to the businessman and the hostel dweller. We must say life must be lived. We cannot and shall not return later, for later will be too late. We must return now. We want to drink and eat, to know. We want to return to life in the land of our birth, the land of the mango and the pineapple, the land of the banana, the land of the red and white grape. We must return to the land of large and chains of mountains, the land of hillocks, the land of the sea and the fish, the land of the shark, the land of the ministock, the diamond and the gold. We must return.